that?
Regarding tell.
About the mixed phase for non-integer multiple. I mean, should that be positive or only what I just wanted to know?
It doesn't matter. It is regarding that non-integer number only, na. Whether negative or positive, it doesn't matter. It's regarding the non-integer value of that.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, you said one more regarding. It is actually before on 18th of March. It's in the numerical one about the steady state response. You said you'll find some. You'll find
I
out.
have not shared the PPT. Now I am searching for that only. I have not shared the PPT till now. That is why I didn't share.
Okay, ma'am.
Huh. Okay, so today we are starting with the next module, that is discrete and fast Fourier transform. So last chapter we learned about the frequency response of the system, how to obtain the frequency response. That after finding the set transform, how to obtain the frequency response of the system. We learned that in the transfer function h of z by putting z equal to e raised to j omega. The one we obtain is the h of e raised to j omega, that is the frequency response, and it contains two portions: the frequency response, magnitude response, and the phase response. Together it is known as the frequency response. So mainly we require this frequency response of the system to study the filter characteristics of the system. Okay, for the design of the filter and all, we require the frequency response characteristics. Okay, now we will see another method to obtain the frequency response, that is, if given a continuous time system, how to obtain the frequency response of the system, provided we know of all the processing systems existing is digital in nature, even though your physical phenomenon whatever existing is continuous, but the analysis process is done in a domain which is purely digital in nature. So what all transforms will happen in between, so that we can analyze the system as well as the signals for the design purpose as well as for any other applications. So discrete Fourier transform, then and discrete time Fourier transform, then we have discrete Fourier transform, in that we have fast Fourier transform. So let us see all these separately. So first we will go to the discrete time Fourier transform. Okay, before that, again go back to the Fourier series. You have learned the Fourier series expansion. Okay, so discrete time Fourier series, that is also a good analysis tool for system with periodic extension. If the signal is periodic in nature, then this Fourier series expansion is good for analysis. But when it comes to an aperiodic signal or non-periodic signal, non-periodic discrete time signal, so it cannot handle the signal, the expansion may not converge all the time. So that is why we are going to the Fourier transform instead of going to the Fourier series. That is why we are using the Fourier transform, which will converge for the non-periodic signals as well. So discrete time Fourier transform can represent an aperiodic discrete time signal for all the time, whereas Fourier series may not. Okay, now the DTFT, in short we are telling the DTFT, that is the transform which converts the discrete time signal. This is a transform which converts the discrete time signals into the frequency domain where we are obtaining the sequence as a continuous function of omega. Okay, so our signal is discrete in nature. That discrete signal x of n, I am converting it into the frequency domain. For the frequency analysis purpose, I need to convert it into the frequency domain. But when we use the DTFT, what is happening to the discrete signal? That discrete signal will become a continuous function of omega in the frequency domain, which has a time period of 2 pi, which repeat itself after a period of 2 pi. Okay, so the Fourier transform, sometimes DTFT, sometimes it is in short, sometimes it will be called as Fourier transform also. So the Fourier transform of a finite discrete time signal x of n is defined as, this is the formula for converting the discrete signal x of n, discrete time signal x of n, into the continuous function of omega, that is to transform it into the frequency domain. So the transformed signal is represented as capital X of e raised to, in the bracket, e raised to j omega. So your signal x of n will be transformed into capital X e raised to j omega. What is the formula for that? Summation n equal to minus infinity to infinity x of n e raised to minus j omega n, by multiplying with the e raised to minus j omega n and summing it from minus infinity to infinity, you will obtain the frequency component of your discrete time signal x of n. So what is happening by taking the Fourier transform or discrete time Fourier transform or DTFT, the signal x of n is decomposed into its frequency component. So x of e raised to j omega is also called the frequency spectrum of the discrete time signal. Now let us see, let us use that formula and obtain the frequency spectrum of the signal. So find the DTFT of the following sequence. Let us take the first sequence, which is a impulse signal del of n equal to 1, which equal to, okay, n equal to 1. So del of n equal to 1 for n equal to 0, and that will be equal to 0 for n not equal to 0. That means del of n exists only at n equal to 0. The impulse signal is existing only at n equal to 0. Rest all time it is 0. Now apply the Fourier transform x of omega. It can be written, instead of e raised to j omega, it can be written as x of omega also. So applying Fourier transform, this is the symbol normally used, f of del of n. This is the Fourier transform of del of n, which is, apply the formula for the Fourier transform, summation of the signal from minus infinity to plus infinity del of n e raised to minus j omega n at n equal to 0, because it exists only at del n equal to 0. So put n equal to 0 there, rest all it is 0. So you can apply only at n equal to 0. So putting n equal to 0, you will obtain it as 1. Let us take another step signal, that is x of n equal to u of n, where u of n is exists only at for,
Hello,
yes.
ma'am, it will be e raised to minus j omega, no? How one?
Which one? This one?
Yes, ma'am.
E
Okay,
raised
the
to
power is 0. Okay, ma'am.
0, no, power is 0.
Yes, ma'am.
So next is a step signal which exists only on the positive side. So u of n equal to 1, which exists only on the positive side, that is n greater than or equal to 0, which does not exist in the negative side. So that is equal to 0 and n less than 0. Now apply the Fourier transform, that is f of u of n equal to minus infinity to infinity u of n e raised to minus j omega n. Now u of n is 1 and it exists only for n greater than or equal to 0. So your summation limits can be, if I replace u of n as 1, then replace the summation limits as 0 to infinity. So 0 to infinity, 1 into e raised to minus j omega n. So it will be applying the sum series formula 1 upon 1 minus c. So c is e raised to minus j omega n. So 1 upon 1 minus e raised to minus j omega. So this is the DTFT of the signal. So one more signal we will see. This is a sequence defined as 1, minus 2, 2 and 3. Now for this, if I apply the formula f of x of n, not u of n, x of n. X of n is equal to summation. Now if you expand it, you just expand the series, that is you put n equal to, this is the first one, x of 0 is there, first x of 0 is 1, then x of 1 is minus 2, x of 2 is 2 and x of 3 is 3. There are 4 elements in the x of n sequence. So you have to put from 0, 1, 2 and 3, like that you have to put n value and expand it. So x of 0 is the first element into e raised to minus j omega n. If I put n as 0, so that term will become 1. So that is why the first term contains only x of 0. Now plus second term will be x of 1 into e raised to minus j omega n equal to 1. Third term will be x of 2 into e raised to minus 2j omega, and third term will be x of 3 into e raised to minus 3j omega. Now put the value of x of 0 as 1, x of 1 as minus 2, x of 2 as 2 and x of 3 as 3. So by substituting that, you obtain that Fourier transform expansion of x of n. Now this is discrete time Fourier transform. Again, we need to obtain the inverse of that. Inverse of that also exists. Obtaining the sequence x of n from its Fourier transform x of omega. So the formula used is, since it repeats itself after a period of 2 pi, so divide it by 2 pi, that is 1 upon 2 pi. The limits is from minus pi to pi x of omega e raised to j omega n d omega. So by applying this formula, you will get your original sequence x of n. So let us take for an example, x of omega is e raised to, yes.
Can you show the formula again?
1 upon 2 pi x of omega e raised to j omega n. This DTFT is not there actually, for not in depth. You need to understand what is DTFT. Okay, I am showing an example also to make you understand the what is happening inside the DTFT transform. But you have to study in depth about DFT, not DTFT. That is why I am going it skipping it fast. Okay, you need to study in detail about DFT only and its properties.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So this is a question, x of omega is equal to e raised to minus j omega for minus pi to pi. So applying the formula for the period, entire period to pi, 1 upon 2 pi minus pi to pi x of omega e raised to j omega n d omega. So in that, if I substitute, that is e raised to x of omega is e raised to minus j omega into e raised to j omega n. So two e raised to terms are coming. So we can club them together. So it can be written as e raised to j omega into n minus 1 d omega. Now apply the integral. So after applying the integral, it will be e raised to j omega n minus 1 divided by magnitude of that is j into n minus 1. Apply the limits minus pi to pi. So you will be getting it of this form. Now from this I can take this n minus 1 out from the denominator and 2 can be written inside, so that I can simplify the terms inside the bracket as sine pi n minus 1 divided by pi n minus 1. This is the expansion of sine pi n minus 1 divided by whatever is there outside, that will be coming to the numerator, pi n minus 1. Why we are bringing it to this form is because these are the general forms required for the filters. You will be studying the filters in the 5th and the 6th chapter. So you need it on to this form for the design of the filters. So these terms always we will try to express in terms of sine and cosine. Okay. So DFT and DTFT. So DFT, what it does? DFT transforms the signal x of n. The DFT transforms the signal x of n into the frequency domain, so that the transformed signal will become a continuous function of omega with a time period of 2 pi. So this is the formula for transforming the signal into the frequency domain, that is multiplying x of n with e raised to minus j omega n, summing it from minus infinity to infinity. Now its inverse also will exist. So inverse transform will provide you the original signal. So x of n can be obtained from its Fourier transform x of omega by multiplying it with e raised to j omega n and integrating it from minus pi to pi and dividing it by the time period 2 pi. Now let us go to the DFT. Now the main drawback in the DTFT so far what we have seen is that the frequency domain representation of the discrete time signal obtained using this DTFT transform will be a continuous function of omega. And so most of our analysis comes in the digital system, so it cannot be processed by the digital system. So we need to transform this continuous function of omega, that function, into again discrete by sampling it at regular intervals of time. So DFT convert a continuous function of omega to a discrete function of omega, so that frequency analysis of the discrete time signals can be performed on a digital system. So understanding, so whatever transformation we have done using DTFT, it became again continuous only, even though we obtained the frequency response in the frequency domain, but that response again is a continuous function of omega. Now for the analysis purpose, again we need to convert, depending upon your application system, we need to, or most of your application systems are digital in nature, so we need to transform this continuous signal again into the discrete signal. Okay, so we need DFT for that, for obtaining the discrete signal of the continuous function of omega. So let us see again what is happening actually with the signal. The first signal, if you take x of n, see that the dark line, that was your actual signal x of t, which was continuous. Now it was discretized at regular interval of, or sampled at regular interval of time to obtain x of n. Actually your signal was x of t. That x of t was transformed into x of n. How you transform? Your signal was x of t. Your signal was x of t, that was transformed into x of n by sampling it at regular intervals of time. Now this discretized signal was transformed using DTFT. So you can see the signal obtained after DTFT. It is a continuous function of omega with time period 2 pi. So this x of n, its frequency component representation is this, which is x of DTFT omega. Now this is, since it is a continuous function of omega, that has to be again discretized. Yes. Yes. All of you can fill that sentence. Okay, so your continuous function of omega signal was transformed into discretized signal. You can see here it is sampled at regular intervals of time with a frequency, it is with a, the sampling frequency is 2 pi k by n. Okay, so this is the transform which is happening with the signal. Original x of t discretized to x of n, then it is transformed to x dft to obtain the frequency response, then that is discretized again. So the definition of DFT is, now there is a direct formula available, no need to do all these steps like x of n converted to the frequency domain, which is a continuous function, then again transform to the discretized. So there is a direct formula existing to transform x of n into its frequency, which is discretized in nature. So we can skip the intermediate step, that is transforming it into DTFT. Directly we will transform into the DFT. So let x of n be the discrete time signal of length L. So the DFT, the transformed DFT of the signal x of k is equal to summation n equal to 0 to n minus 1 x of n e raised to minus j 2 pi k n by n. Okay, so that capital N is the sampling frequency in the DTFT. Okay, so we should understand actually the process, even though we are directly doing the transform of the signal from x of n to the DFT, the discretized Fourier. We should know the capital N is actually the sampling of the signal in the DTFT. While we transform the signal into the frequency domain, what happens? The signal is transformed into a continuous function of omega with a period of 2 pi. Okay, so that in that period 2 pi we are sampling the signal to obtain its discretized form. Okay, so that capital N is the sampling of the period 2 pi. Getting? Are you able to understand? Let us go back to the signal again. Okay, here let us see, this is your continuous function of omega with period 2 pi. Now this, within this 2 pi I am sampling the signal. So that capital N is the number of samples in the period 2 pi. Okay, so the sampling frequency will become 2 pi n. So that is why you can see here the signal is sampled to obtain the x of k. The DTFT signal is sampled with a number of samples capital N to obtain x of k. Now what are the conditions? The number of samples should be greater than or equal to the length of the signal to avoid aliasing of the signal in the frequency spectrum. Now k value will expand from 0 up to capital N minus 1, where 2 pi k by n is the sampling frequency. Okay. Now we understood from the formula that x of k is a complex valued function. Okay, x of k is a complex valued function, and so it can be represented in a rectangular form. So x of k contains a real part and an imaginary part. So its magnitude spectrum can be defined as under root of real square plus imaginary square, and its phase spectrum can be defined as, sorry, that by mistake got deleted. Okay, phase spectrum, how you will define? How you will define the phase spectrum? Shivam, Oza, how you will define the phase spectrum? Shivam.
Tan inverse of Xa by Xr.
Aniket, I know you are listening. I'm not getting any response, any doubt from anyone else. Shivam, can you respond? Resika. Resika. Shraddha. Shraddha.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Can you tell me what is phase spectrum?
Yes, tan inverse xi by xr.
XR. Imaginary part upon the real part will give you the phase spectrum. So together the magnitude and the phase spectrum together, it is known as the frequency spectrum using obtained in the DFT. Now the plot of the magnitude sequence versus K is called the magnitude spectrum, and plot of samples of phase sequence versus K is called the magnitude spectrum. So DFT is defined along with the number of samples and is called endpoint DFT. Okay, so I told in the period 2 pi, the number of samples is the capital N. So as the number of samples involved increases, the calculation for finding the samples will increase, but it will become more clear. The signal the obtained using that will be more smooth. Now, the inverse of DFT. If DFT exists, its inverse also will exist. So if x of n be the discrete time signal and x of k is endpoint DFT of x of n, so inverse DFT is defined as x of n. Again, dividing it by the total period. Here it is the number of samples in the period 2 pi, which is 1 upon n, summation k equal to 0 to n minus 1, x of k e raised to minus j 2 pi k n by n for n equal to 0, 1 up to n minus 1. Now let us find for the DFT of the given sequence. X of n is given as 1 upon 3 for 0 less than or equal to n less than or equal to 2 and is 0 elsewhere. So for this we need to find the DFT. So let us find out first what is the capital N or the number of samples in the period. So to find the N, so what is the limit given for the samples? 0 up to 2. Okay, that means 0 to n minus 1. So n minus 1 is 2. That means your capital N will be 3. So this is a 3-point DFT. So number of samples inside that period will be, in a period 2 pi will be 3. So 3-point DFT it is. So let us apply the formula. X of k is equal to n equal to 0 to n minus 1 e raised to minus j 2 pi k n by n. This is the formula for obtaining the DFT of the signal x of n, and the limits are from 0 to n minus 1, capital N minus 1. So let us put the limits. 0 to 2 is the limits x of n e raised to minus j 2 pi k n by n. Now expand it from 0 to 2 by putting small n equal to 0, 1, 2. So if I expand it, it will be x of 0 into e raised to minus j 2 pi k into 0, okay, by n, plus next term will be x of 1 into e raised to minus j 2 pi k into 1 upon n, and the next term will be x of 2 into e raised to minus j 2 pi k into 2 upon n. Now x of 0, x of 1, x of 2, that value is 1 upon 3. So first term it is 1 upon 3 plus the next term will be 1 upon 3 into e raised to minus j 2 pi k, since n value is 1 there. Now the next term is 1 upon 3 raised to minus j 2 into 2, that is 4 pi k. N is not there actually, that n. Now you can take the common out. Taking the common out, what is the term common you have taken out? 1 upon 3 e raised to minus j 2 pi k by n. That term you will be taking out. So the first term will become e raised to plus j 2 pi k by n. Now the next term will become 1. Third term 1 of minus 2 pi k is taken out. So left out is minus 2 pi k. Now again this can be rearranged and written of this form, that is multiplying and dividing by 2 and taking the terms terms together, so that you can write it of the form 2 cos 2 pi k by n plus 1. The expansion of the term x of n 1 upon 3 in its Fourier DFT transformed of x of n. So what we did here, it is we found out the capital N from the question. We know the limits is given from 0 to n minus 1. So it is from that n you got it as 3. So 3 samples will be there in that. So expand it using the formula x of k is equal to 0 to n minus 1, which is 0 to 2. So x of n into e raised to minus j 2 pi k n by n. So applying the formula, expanding it, finally we are getting of this form where capital N is equal to 3. So I hope you understood what we did is the Fourier DTFT of the signal first, which is a continuous signal we got in the frequency domain, and that signal problem was that it was continuous in nature. So that is why we transformed this into the discretized form by applying the DFT. So DFT formula will directly transform the signal into its discretized frequency component.